My name is Ahmet Fenerbahce. I'm a student from Turkey. My English is not so good, but I want to show you a clip from my classmate I'm very proud of. So I hope you like it and I hope you understand it. Because it was the first time in our school we have to speak English to the group guests. So I was very nervous and my friend I think did very well. It's the first time he spoke English and he chose a beautiful picture and he used beautiful music from his life. And that was because we had guests from Holland and we did not understand. There were guests from Big Picture Learning. So we thought, what is that? We had guests from Holland. It was Nele, it was her teacher. And they came to tell us about I Teach You. And we did not understand nothing about, but after some minutes, we found out that I stands for making an I clip about yourself. Okay, we understand this was a Dutch boy, but we understand we're going to make clips. The second thing is that teach means you make a clip from the work environment where your internship is going on. So you have a workflow feeling, what really is expected from me in that job or in that work or in that activity. So that's a kind of instruction movie, we understood that. And the third one, we like that a lot, is that you make your own clip in your work, in your activity, with your iPhone. And we recognize that because it means now it's up to you. So if first it's me, a person, then somebody is going to help you, or I make a movie of my environment, what's expected, and in the end I can give back the proof that I really feel what I'm doing. Okay, so we said to him, you're welcome. And then there was a man from Holland and he said, I Teach You is a tool, maybe a tool, that can help for big picture schools to learn the student better and maybe bring some, building of visual learning in school instead of words and books only, because we know reading is very important in big picture. So we said, okay, if that's is that the reason why you're here in Turkey? You're welcome. It was a school in Turkey, it was a technical school, and it was also a university. We liked that, because it was a combination. Here are some partners. This is our teachers. This is the woman from Holland. And there are my teachers. It was very cold in Rotterdam. And you know something? They told me, they were very honest. They said to me, when we came to Holland for the first time, we thought it was about disabled children. So they thought, we are in a project for disabled children. And remember, we took 2 nights to talk about, this is not a project about disabled children, this is a project about potential everybody. That was a nice evening, you told me. And the priorities for the school in Woerden was, okay, we are at school, but we have to start very small and start easily. Because we cannot just change the whole school. So where do we start? And can we use the tool to see if we know our students in terms of relation? That was very exciting. And the first guy that we did iClip with, that was this boy. And it was funny because we needed Hatice, who is very good in Turkish. And we were talking to him in the clip, and maybe you don't understand
it. Tell me in Nederlands, wie is hij?
He was translating in the camera. And he took 9 minutes to talk about himself. And I'm very proud about Orhan. Because he's a very smart guy, he's very good in sports, and he tells a lot about music, his life at home. So the whole video for 9 minutes gave the school a lot of information. And that was of course very important. This guy also wanted to make a presentation about his music that he liked so much. He was nervous at the same day. Some of you saw the movie already, but I would like, especially for my American and Italian guests, look at this boy's face. He is really playing his own song, and look the way he is really controlling the audience to show how proud he was, that everybody was listening to his real faithful. Oh yeah, the stupid sound is the sound of a doorbell, a school bell in Turkey. So he wants to start the music and then the school bell comes in between. So we had a lot of respect for his presentation, and his song was so different from the others. But we listened to him and we saw that he was happy. We were all looking at his music. The impact of the visit of the Dutch delegation, but more to say, the impact of that special day, everybody could show their picture and their music, and all the boys, 25, made that interview, had a big impact. Why? We heard that some weeks later in the training in Woerden. The team from Turkey came back and they said they did something, they will tell you later, about the impact of making movies, but more important, the impact of seeing students really in their own power. That did something to the teachers, and they will tell you, because I'm not a teacher, I'm a student, so they can tell you better about this. The next trip was to Biella. It's a totally different country, also near the mountains. There was still snow there, it's Biella, Italy. And there we had a beautiful presentation, and my name is Mario Coriantelli. I'm a student from Biella. There are my classmates. And we had a wonderful meeting in the audience here for a congress in the evening, and we did a lot of translating, remember?
Yeah.
And we kicked asses because we were better in English than the teachers, remember? So that was really big picture learning, we understand. Students were better than teachers in English, can you imagine, translating? There were even students in the beginning, our classmates, doing an important statement that they think big picture learning is important in school. For me, it was important to see students in front of the class instead of teachers. So for me, this was really strong, and we felt really proud, right? And that's why we were invited to come here, I think. And then, one of the Dutch delegations, there were 3 of you at that moment, it was again Nele and Brandon, and we had a lot of meetings with the whole class, because we had no time. You guys from Italy wanted more interviews, and we couldn't make it. It was difficult to make individual of each student. So we took the camera in the class. Beautiful picture. I hope that you recognize it. It's your students, and not your school anymore. But it's a beautiful thing because this guy is a special person in this class. I'm not going to tell you all the backgrounds, but this is a very strong picture to see that there's a lot of respect in this class. Even children come from different backgrounds and different luggage, so to speak. And there she was. We had a camera, and we put a camera on her and asked each student, would you tell something about your dream? And we asked her to tell your dream. I would like to share to you, because I think it shows the impact of, even we were in the class, the impact of asking a student, this takes 5 minutes, the impact in the class that somebody really comes out and has a lot of, nervosity to talk about her passion, and the safety of our class, that all the students who have to deal with the guy you saw in the beginning, I think it's part of the whole deal. The safety of the class and the teacher, you are the teacher there in the background, was so important to have these moments and share those moments with the students. So it was very emotional, but at the same time, I think you can ask him, everybody was in a way very safe. Well, my important question at the end to you is there any added value to make interviews, insurance? That's my question back to you. It's done outside the BPL concept. It is done as one of the tools that we are used to work with. So the question is there any added value to use it, in the strong concept of BPL that has its 10 distinguishers and the 3 important R's? Does it fit there? And last but not least, I got an email from Martina, the girl with her dream, and I think this is beautiful. That was maybe 1 week later. She writes, these days I talk with my parents and they said to me that they love my ballet passion and they want me to continue. But before I had to graduate, because nowadays it's very difficult to find work. in the ballet school. Maybe I will search a good university. I like University of Psychology. And in the city where I will go, there's also a good ballet school. And I forgot to send it, but I have the ballet book here. So I will hand it over to you. I talked about it before, so would you please give it to her and said, it's late, but it's still there. Okay, thank you. That's it.
I'm going to kind of echo some of the things that were said. I think what this, it just brings to light and exemplifies the spirit of the work, that we are trying to keep students at the center of the work. And so this vehicle sounds like it's a great instrument for that purpose. The only things I heard, some answers probably to the questions that I would have posed, which is kind of like, well, in the greater scheme of things, what's the true impact that it's going to have on students, or that we intend for it to have on students? And then what will be the longer impact that we would hope it would have? So is this something that would continue? I think someone asked that question. Would you continue to ask students to reflect in that way? And then also, what impact will it have on teachers? And how is that relevant? So kind of what you were hinting to. So we're making these videos. Are teachers also using them in some sort of professional development way, so that it's not just a one and done? So it's not just doing it because it's a means with no end. It's just, kind of like it's great for them to have the experience, but it doesn't actually give us any greater benefit. But I did hear from folks how it could be extended or have an impact with school. Think very creative.
Roni, thank you.
So for every picture, for every slideshow, there was another meaning to it. For example, the I teach you part, that was something different. But that was either a lesson or experience to learn from. I guess the one thing we really didn't get into with the 3 R's is expanding it further, because that's really an element of the big picture learning school system, and you're going to need that throughout the whole school. Like, everybody needs to follow through that process, including teachers. So I feel as though not only students have to have relationships with each other, but you guys should also have a relationship with them too. But,
Thank you.
There are many similar processes that are used in schools. And this is a good one as well. There's one called I, Thou, It, which is switches around the last 2 pieces. It, I, it, thou is what you have, more than I, thou, it. And there's also a thing called What's Your Big Picture Story. And if you went on the New Zealand sites or the Australian sites, you would see a lot of video of students doing presentations and reflecting on them and saying what their passions are. What I like about this, I think the work that needs to be done is to get it right in terms of the editing and the sound quality, of doing it quickly so it comes together very quickly. Because if I can see it as like it's said, that would be great. To post those things in 30, 45 seconds. And people could, yes, I get it. So it's not, it can get deep quickly. At the same time, it's got to be done with, I think there's some rehearsal that has to be done, some thinking about the setting. I know that, and I compliment you on the fact that you just went out there, did it, and now we're figuring it out about how to get it better. So I think that that's the way to think about this, and there's something there, and it's a catchy phrase. And so it can all kind of come together, and I think it has good context and good, very, very good potential.
Thank you.